People often wonder if the eggs that are laid by little button quails are actually useful. They know that they're eggs, but they're so tiny. Can there be any practical application at all? Well, today I'm going to tell you that yes, there can, and the main one is baking. While it's totally possible to use a button quail egg anywhere that you would use a chicken egg, their small size makes them ideal for adjusting baking and cooking recipes to get the gram of egg you're using to be perfect. A button quail egg on average weighs about 5 grams. A chicken egg on average weighs between 50 and 70 grams. These cookies make 6 dozen cookies and only call for 1 large egg. So what if you only want to make 3 dozen cookies? Which is kind of tricky when you're using conventional chicken eggs. But if you're using smaller eggs, then you can actually divide a chicken egg in half really easily and have your recipe tasting really good. If you happen to have small chicken eggs, for example, if you have backyard chickens that are just starting to lay, you may find that your recipes call for more egg than is within your shell. So you can just add a couple of little button quail eggs to the eggs that you have, and you'll have the perfect amount. You can also hard boil button quail eggs, and I do because I think they're really great for kids' lunches. You can fry them, and I do because they're really cute. You can put them on pizzas if you don't want to have a big yolk in the middle, but you like to have an egg cracked on pizza, and we do. It's delicious. But when you're baking, it fills a niche that no other egg really can. The one thing that I do want to tell you though is don't crack it like it's a regular chicken egg, or else you'll just get shell everywhere and you'll be really frustrated. A chicken egg, the shell is relatively quite hard compared to a relatively thin membrane. So you can tap it on the counter, break it apart. You're not going to get too much shell, if any, in whatever you're adding your egg to. But if you do that with a button quail, the hard membrane relative to the shell will get in your way, it'll pull apart, and you'll get splinters of eggshell. So to avoid that, put it down on a hard surface like a cutting board. Use a serrated knife. I prefer serrated. It still will work if you don't happen to have one. And just make a quick little tap in the shell. You'll cut about 1/3 of the way into the shell that way through the membrane. Then you can pull it apart and your egg will be shellless and ready to use. So now you know, beautiful little eggs like this aren't just for decoration or the compost. You can actually use them and make your baking and cooking life a little bit easier. However your garden grows, keep growing as a gardener.